Hi guys, it's Colette. I thought I'd read you another little bit of Dying to Live by Colette Brown. That's myself. It's something I think I've discussed in a video before, the soul leaving the body. But I thought I'd read it from my book this time to give people who maybe could be interested in the book a kind of little taste of what the book's about. So this chapter is called The Soul Leaves the Body, and there's always a quote at the start of each chapter, and this one is by Zhuangzi, and it's, "We are born from a quiet sleep and we die to a calm awakening." How amazing is that? These quotes that I searched for a long time were so inspirational. I loved them. So anyway, this is me kind of talking in the book. Because there are other voices, obviously, there's a lot of people sharing their stories. But this is me writing. "I've never actually been afraid of my death. That may seem quite egotistical and even problematic, but it's just the way I've always been. When I think of my death, my pain and anguish are for leaving my loved ones and for the pain and anguish of me leaving them. Even as a little girl, I had a sense that there was something more out there. I saw spirits, and I was always aware of the spirit world around me, so why would I be afraid? When people say that they're afraid of death, I believe they're more afraid of the process of dying. It is only natural to fear a painful death or a long drawn out death. The process of the body dying is at its simplest the ending of one's cycle. We can understand this but still feel fearful of the process, particularly if there is a disease process that is painful, debilitating, and can take away the dignity of the person. I'm sure we all hope to die naturally without trauma. I believe the fear of dying also encapsulates the fear of being parted from those we love and the fear of never seeing them again. These fears are all very valid. I've been honoured to have an experience that left me with such awe of death that I truly have no fear of the process of crossing over from our earth plane to the world of spirit. It was even more intense because I was pregnant with my second child at the time. I saw a soul leave a body as I prepared to give birth to a new soul. I had an asthma attack when I was 36 weeks pregnant. I had been taken by ambulance to the local hospital and was put on a medical ward. After being given some medication and oxygen, I started to feel well again, but they decided to keep me overnight. The lady in the bed next to me was from the same town, and we chatted until visiting hour. She was called Mrs. Brodie, was in her 60s and so very friendly. She was recovering from bronchitis and pneumonia. Her husband had been visiting her every day, and at this visiting hour he was given the good news that she would be going home in the morning. They were such a lovely couple. You could see he was lost and broken while she was in the hospital. We settled down after visiting her and we chatted about life and babies and husbands and how we both wanted to go home. After a cup of tea and some toast, we tried to sleep. Mrs. Brodie was very much looking forward to going home the next day. I was sleeping on my side facing her bed and she was sleeping propped up on her back. The ward was quiet as people settled down to sleep and the nurses got on with handing over to the night staff at the nursing station. My gaze was drawn to Miss Brodie's outline, which was sparkling like a silver thread. The thread seemed made up of little sparkles and lights, and it became so bright, so silvery, so unbelievably beautiful that I could not take my eyes off it. The silver thread outline started to rise above Mrs. Brodie's body, keeping its shape, and I saw it was attached to her tummy like an umbilical cord. The outline of the silver floated up to the ceiling, still connected to her physical body by the cord. I watched it all happen, not knowing precisely what I was seeing. The body's outline was like a helium balloon bouncing off the ceiling with its sting tied to the bed. And then the cord broke, and the silver outline was free from its mooring, and it disappeared up and through the ceiling. It was only then that it became clear to me that I'd seen Mrs. Brodie's soul leave her body. A nurse was passing, and I said, "Mrs. Brodie has just died." The nurse looked at me as though I was crazy because it'd only been minutes ago that Mrs. Brodie was gently resting and looking forward to going home. However, when she checked her, she pulled the curtains and walked quickly to get help. Doctors and nurses tried to resuscitate Mrs. Brodie. I knew in my heart that she was not coming back. The cord between her physical body and her soul had been broken. She had gone home. Seeing Mrs. Brodie's soul go forward on its new journey changed me forever. It was gentle, holy, sacred, and most of all joyful. It reminded me of the feelings I had when I was a nursing assistant during my university holidays. I was on a geriatric ward, which was hard going as death was a constant companion. This was the place where I saw death most weeks. And even at the age of 18, I could sit with someone who had no relatives with them, hold their hand and simply be with them as they passed over. Never once did I see anything less than peaceful and normal at the end. Old women and men who were shrunken and debilitated in both body and mind looked calm and serene as the pure light energy filled the room and they took the last breaths, which were normally just like any other breath. Of course, these were natural deaths of older people whose bodies were used up and debilitated. They were peaceful and gentle and seemed natural. They were good deaths. That is a time in my life, a little portion of my life that was a massive opening up to me, and that was about 1993. But seeing, although I'd seen a sense of spirits in rooms and I'd felt, maybe the soul's leaving the body, seen the light or whatever, to see the sort of the outline of the body and the cord attached was something else. So I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you'll consider maybe buying the book for the rest of it. Many blessings now. Bye.